Okay, so we're going to make that first, and hopefully we'll get through that really quick so that we can move on and finish up our journal today. So, because I've really kept you. So all you're going to do is, here's your flap. This is a vintage envelope. So here's your flap, right? What you're going to do is we're going to cut this off. So let me just get my trimmer because I can't even follow a straight line. And you don't have to collage it. We're not going to collage it today. I was just in the mood to collage. And use up the scraps that go with the kit that I'm using to make that journal. So I'm just going to move this to where it folds, okay, so that I know that I'm cutting where I should be. Make sure it's straight, because you're just cutting off the flap, okay? So I'm going to just push that back and go ahead and cut that off. And there you go. So now you have this pocket, right? Let me put this aside. I just love having my little shelf underneath my desk. It's a shoe rack, but oh my gosh, it's just the most perfect thing. It's just crazy. Of all the things I have in my craft room, my favorite thing is my little shelf underneath where I keep all my cutters and a couple of project boxes of projects I'm working on, so they're easily accessible. It's just wonderful. I'll stop talking. So now what we're going to do is we'll put this aside, because what we want to do is decorate this part. And we want to decorate it where it's glued. Okay? So let's get some scraps. I have napkin we can do it with. I have some background. I still have some scraps left from the freebies Angela has gifted us. So we obviously like to keep with the same theme, but not, I don't want to be too exact to our pages. So let me take a quick look at our pages to see. I tried to find something with more purple in it, but I thought, you know, we do have a lot of purple, so I chose something with more of a pink. So let's see what page I am going to put this on. That will help me better decorate it. Okay, so maybe I will use this page. Let me make sure it's going to fit, because you're going to fold this in half this way. Okay, so it's going to fold in half where it's opened. It's going to fold this way. So let's do that and make sure it's going to fit nicely and not look too big. Yeah, I think that looks nice. I'll measure this envelope for you. This is just an old greeting card envelope. Sorry about my thumb. As I was cleaning the tip of my glue bottle just before I turned on the camera, I was using a pen. That pen, not that pen, I threw that pen away, but this type of pen, and I was doing this, and it came out and went into my thumb, between my thumbnail and my thumb. So be careful. Yeah, I wasn't really cleaning it. I was just making sure it would come out. Anyway, so that's how it's going to go on our page. And I think that would be a great page to do it on, because this is very neutral, and this is very neutral, and this is very neutral. So now I have a better idea of how I want to make this. Okay, so put that aside. We'll open this back up so it's more easily decorated. And let's see, I think I don't really want to use napkin, because in all honesty, I did watch Angela earlier, which I shouldn't have been doing. I did watch a few videos today. It shouldn't have happened, but I did. I was actually getting ready to video and I saw her pop up and I thought, oh, I just need to watch her before I start the video. Let me see if I can pull this apart and maybe we will use some napkin. I think that might look nice. Let me see what I have in here. I have so much purple, I noticed. The only pink I really have is this. So I'd like to add some more pink. And this is very textured. I like it. It's a very vintage napkin. I've had it for a very long time. I don't think Angela will mind if I use napkin. It's completely different from her video from today. So I highly suggest that you take a run over and watch our video. I think that will look good. Like that. So I'm going to go ahead. I'm just making sure it's going to fit all the way across. If it doesn't, I can put a little washi or something there. But I think it will be fine. So I'm going to go ahead and do that. Now, I think I want more of the pink than I do that red. So I'm going to, if you could just feel, can you see the texture in this? It's like a, I forget what they call it, hatch cross texture. It's almost like a cross stitch. I could literally cross stitch on this, and I was going to save it to do that. You know, I was going to put this on fabric and cross stitch it or embroider it, which I probably should still do, but I'm not, because I'm not going to go looking for another napkin and hold you up. So I can always do the other side. So what I'm going to do is simply get my glue stick, and I'll use this one is fine. And my I'll just grab a piece of paper. This is just plain copy paper. And remember, we're gluing on this glued, what you would normally glue your envelope down with. So you can use any napkin. You don't have to use napkin. You can use anything you want. Okay. But yes, Angela did something completely different, which I will be not stealing from her, but taking that inspiration and doing a video because it was fabulous. A great idea. So I'll be doing that in one of my videos coming up for those of you who don't follow Angela. But I do recommend that you follow her. She's a great inspiration, very talented artist. So I'm just going to place this as close to that little crease in the napkin that's been folded for probably 50 years. As I'm just slapping it down here on a piece of paper, and the person is probably in heaven saying, exactly what are you doing with that serviette? But it feels so good and it's so pretty. I'm starting to use a lot of my vintage things because, you know, why let it just rot? It's here because I want to use it. So that's glued down really well. It looks really pretty. I love it. And now what I'm going to do is, normally I would cut from this side, but I like to, let's see, I think I can cut it from that side. But see all these little flowers? I'm going to keep those in my little box where I keep the rest of my napkin flowers. I was telling Angela today, well, I commented that, you know, sometimes I will literally sit here and cut apart napkins for the flowers. And then I put them in a box like this and keep them all in here with my fussy cut butterflies and flowers. And sometimes I wax them. I don't think my finger's bleeding anymore, but I don't want to take any chances. So now I'll just flip it over. You could take a water pen. Angela did today. She took a water pen and she went around this, but I'm just going to cut it right along this edge. Just follow the edge of your envelope, top. Okay. I have been fussy cutting. Well, I fussy cut last night for quite a while. Fussy cutting for me is so relaxing. I love it. And Raindrop Lila came out with a new kit that's got 30 pages, and most of them are ephemera. Yeah, she is so funny. She really loves to design. I can't wait to start using Angela's new kit. If you haven't seen it yet, go to, I haven't got it printed yet, but I have been drooling over it when I see it on my computer screen. If I print it, I'll start using it, and I have too many other things to finish. Like this. I would never have finished this if I started that. Okay, so see, I still have all those left, which I'll put over here with my scraps. And I still have all these little fussy cut flowers now. You know, you can fussy cut that and have a terrific little sticker. I'll just place those in there. And now I have my top done. Now, the question, because this is now going to fold this way. You're going to glue this down. Once this is decorated, it's going to get glued on here just along the bottom, so that you'll have a pocket here and a pocket here, and then once you glue it onto the page, you'll have a pocket there. So now I have to think about what I am, and I'll show you how to cover the white, which in this case, this is very old, so it's very yellowed. But it's okay. I like it. I actually like the look. It doesn't bother me at all. So let's find something else pink. This is, I don't remember what month this is, but is that really too clashy? I think so. I think I'll use something more quiet. And this is a little bit more quiet. And I think that looks nice. It's a little bit more peach and yellow, but I like it. So I am going to go ahead and I am going to use that to cover this. Okay, deal done. Or, hold on, I might no. Just make sure that there's, I'm making sure that there's no writing on this. Check a different page. Oh wait, there's some pink in this one. Oh, I love that. I really do love that, except for that's going to be cut off there. So I think I'll go this way. Yeah. I'm sorry about that, people. I should have figured this out. I still have the butterfly. Yeah. Okay. So I'm just going to glue this down. And like I said, I don't remember the months actually that these came from, but you can simply go on Friends of Angela Kerr and look in her files. And if you open the file, you'll be able to tell. I just print them all. That's just me. I've got them all printed and sorted into an envelope that says Angela Kerr Freebies. so that when she comes out with another one, I can download it and print it and have it. Because they match. I mean, they all match anything. And as you can see right now, I'm using it for basically collage, right? So I'm just using this because it's easier to cover a bigger space for me than using a glue stick. But by all means, use a glue stick. So I'm just going to now see where I want to place this, which is, I want that butterfly because I do. There's a butterfly here. I'll show you in a minute. And I just want to make sure this is even with that. And I didn't want to really glue way up there. Did I? No, I didn't. No, I didn't because I just glued the envelope. Oh my goodness, Cheryl, wake up. Time to wake up. You're with your friends. Your friends are over to play. So time to wake up. So yeah, you want to glue your paper, not the envelope. So what, even if you're collaging it, well, if you're collaging it, it's a lot easier because you can see that part where you're going up to. Now all I'm going to do is take my envelope, I'm going to open it up, I'm going to follow the line and just cut it. Okay? Does that make sense? You might not be able to see it very well on the camera. I'll do the best I can. So I'm going to just take this and snip it here. The sun is beaming in my window, so it's almost blinding, and I have the blinds half closed. I couldn't close them all the way because then you wouldn't be able to see. So all I'm doing is I'm following the line of the envelope. Like so. Just trying to figure out for me that I might not be able to show you the rest of this because I'm trying to follow the line and be in the camera at the same time. Hold on, let me get it closer to my eyes. Sorry about that, guys. I'm simply following that line, which is very simple. See? Done. All done. Now I have a little edge here, which I'm going to get rid of right now. And this is HP photo paper. It's probably better to use regular copy paper when doing things like this because it can get pretty bulky. Or napkin. Napkin's a great choice. I did notice in the last couple I've made, using the heavier copy paper, you know, like the HP paper or the 27-pound paper, which is what I typically use, it can get very bulky. So napkin, book page, you know, thin book page. I'm going to take this off now because it's bugging me, and I'm sure it's bugging you. And let me just make sure. I just put a little hand sanitizer on to make sure that there were no, even though I washed it, I just want to make sure that there's no germs. Okay. I mean, not that you can catch germs through a camera, but you never know. No, I'm only kidding. Okay. So now I need to cover this, which I'm going to use the same pattern, but do it so that it doesn't look exactly the same. And how I'm going to do that is, I've got this like this. Where's that napkin? Maybe I'll bring in, where's that other piece of napkin? I know it's here. It's hiding on me. It doesn't want to come out. Oh, here it is. Maybe it will fit in here. Oh, yes. Indeed, it does. So now you just want to cut it so that it fits inside. But you don't need the whole napkin in there. You just need enough to cover up to here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to make sure it lines up in the back, which it does. I'm going to take my pencil and I'm going to go right underneath here, and I'm going to mark it so that I know where to cut it across. Would be helpful if I had some lead. So now I'm just going to go right underneath this lip, and even if you use a piece of paper, put your paper in there and go right below. You're not going to see the pencil mark. See, I put a pencil mark right here. And that way, I'm going to cut a little bit below it. That way you don't have a lot of bulk inside if you're using paper. But even if you're using napkin, don't waste. There's a really pretty strip right here. I know I sound crazy, right? I'm going to go around that rose because I know I can without it being compromised inside. And I know you're all probably thinking, Cheryl, you are a lunatic. But that's okay. Lunatics are fun people. Ask me. Ask my husband. Ask my kids. Ask my followers if you're new here. Oh dear. You're probably thinking this lady's lost it and I'm not following her. That was really silly, but it was fun. Okay, so now see, that fits inside there nicely. Oh, I'm making decisions pretty quickly today, Cheryl. This is different. So now what I'm going to do is, can't glue napkin, so I'm going to glue it in here. Now, if you're using paper, you wouldn't have to do it this way. You could glue right across the napkin, but I don't want to tear the napkin, you know. Although, maybe I can kind of get away with it if I go really slow. This is a pretty, actually with this glue, you might be able to see that cross hatch on the napkin that I was talking about. The texture, it's beautiful. I do have more, but just not this color. And I got them years and years ago when I had an infatuation with napkins. Still do, don't get me wrong. At a Salvation Army. It was like, back then, probably 25 cents for about, I want to say, probably 50 or so napkins. Small ones, mostly small ones, like I'm using now. I really like using the smaller bottles and filling them, the Fabri-Tac. The sugar bottles don't work for me. I don't know why. They clog up. I just can't. I love them because of the tip, but I just can't seem to do it right. So I still have it, but I clog up where the pin goes. So I have to stay with what comes on the bottle. I still haven't put a dress on her yet. I'm trying to get this in there without, this isn't as easy as it is with paper, for sure. It wants to stick. But You can see what I'm doing, right? So I'm just going to pull it away from the camera a little bit, maybe, so I can get closer to it, so I can get it in there without it getting all wrinkled up. I think I probably should have glued the paper and not the napkin. What I'm doing is going across the edge like this in hopes that once I do that, then I can just push my hand down in there like you would do any napkin, carefully. Oh, that's so pretty. There we go. No Mod Podge required. I mean, you could certainly cover it with like a matte medium, which I might do later, but I can't use Mod Podge in Florida. And I am out of PVA. I do have a little bit more Elmer's, but I don't know if I have enough. They say Elmer's and PVA is the same, but I really find that the PVA is so much better than the Elmer's. And you can get the PVA at my hardware store, which is called Ace Hardware. The bigger hardware stores don't carry it, but Ace, if anybody is in the United States and they have an Ace Hardware by them, you can get the PVA glue. It's wood glue. That's what most people at the hardware store go in for it for, is wood. I think that's pretty stuck down. That looks lovely. So now I'm going to glue this across the bottom. This is just art glitter glue, and I'm gluing it this way. See? And again, I'm going right along this edge, which I'll probably get some on my map, but that's okay. I don't want to compromise any space. That's why I go right across and do very thin. And if it gets on my mat, it's okay, because I am very comfortable with cleaning it up rather than losing any what they call real estate inside my pocket. So see, that's how much I glued, was right along that very, very edge. And now I'm going to line it up there. And I am going to just go along the edge of my envelope on the bottom, like so. And I did put a little bit of glue on both edges here and here. Okay, so now I simply wait for that to dry, because it's not, before I fold it. And we can move on to the next project while that's drying, because it's not really dried very well yet. And I do have a little bit of my napkin lifting, I think. No, I'm not. I thought I was. I'm not. It's just where I put the glue down. Might have to just trim that just a teensy tiny bit without putting a slit in my envelope. This little edge there. Okay. So now I'll let that dry and we'll move on. Okay. promise I will try and get to the rest of my comments. I have been working on it. I'm so happy you're here. I'm so happy you're visiting. I'm so happy to know that I'm actually not in my craft room talking to myself. Although I do. I think we all do. I mean, I'm listening to an audiobook right now and I find myself talking to the author. I'm like, oh no. Or, no way. No way. Really? And it's like, thank goodness, you know, only John hears and he knows because he's listening to the book too. And thinking the same thing sometimes. Yeah. I love the twists and turns in books. But I like a good romantic novel as well, so don't get me wrong. I just finished a whole bunch of Jane Austen with the British accent. I'll tell you what, it just made the story so much more come to life. So the next thing is so simple. Do you remember when we cut this tag? We cut this long enough, and then it was a piece of file folder like this, and we cut it off, and we folded it up, and we put a notch, and we're going to use this as the tag. So I thought, do we want to keep it this color, or do we want to decorate it? I think we want to decorate it. So we will use some of this pink. And we will take the tag, and this is going to be too simple. I don't even need to show you this, but I will. This is just too simple. Too simple. So I think what I'll do is do this, and this is just from Scrap File Folder. I use it a lot for backing most things because for me, in the United States anyway, and using the older, not the newer file folders, because the newer ones are so much more sturdy, but I have a lot of the older ones. So I use those a lot for backing everything. I even use them for journal covers. I mean, I use these for a lot of things. Just going to go ahead and put it on this edge. Hoping that the edge of this scrap is, well, it doesn't matter. It's non-directional. It's not cut very even, but that's okay. So there we go. We have a tag. That was simple. And in all honesty, because I have so much going on my pages, and I want to be able to put some ephemera in here, so I think I'm going to leave that color because I like it and think it will look good on the page like that. Yes? I mean, you could do what you want. I was thinking book page. I really was. But let me just take a look at it first. I don't want to make it so busy that you can't see the ephemera in the little pocket, if that makes sense. So there we go, is our tag. Pretty. And I did the tag first so that I could decide on what I wanted to do with this, which is going to glue down inside my, let me just make sure that goes into the trash. And what's this? A scrap? Yes. Now I have to decide on what I am going to do. Should I do, if you don't mind, let me just get the journal. This is why it's so good to have, you know, the finalization of your journal and the signatures in, because then you can, you know, decide where you want to put things and such. See, this page I don't want to put too much on because there's a lot of writing space there. So I could do something like this. And I think I'm going to, because it's on a writing page, I'm not going to do book page. I'm going to actually go ahead and leave it, maybe just ink it. Or oh dear. Yeah, I think that's what I'm gonna do. And leave the flap like that. Yes, I'm going to do that. But I'm gonna move this over because I like the lace. And again, this is just a scrap. It's from the Spring Splendor kit, but you can use anything. So all I'm going to do now is follow this up, just like I did my tag, right? I probably should have glued it down first, but that's okay. Excuse me, I have an itchy, 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 itchy nose. Dang allergies, my goodness. I did harvest a lot of lavender yesterday. I don't know if anybody saw my Facebook. I took some still shots before I dried it, pressed it. It takes a long time. It took almost all day, but I was happy to do it. It actually took longer to wrap it and photograph it for my journals than it did anything else. And then get it into my flower press. And then you just leave it in a cool, dry place, and you've got some really pretty things for your crafting. Okay, so there we go. Just put some glue on there. You can use glue stick. I'm just using this because it's here. If I have a small, oh, it's okay. If I have a small space, I'll use glue stick, but if I have a big space like this, I'll typically use this or the arc glitter glue. Because believe it or not, it takes longer for the glue stick to dry. And sometimes my glue stick warps things. I don't know why. Even if I use my Scotch Create, which I love, my permanent Scotch Create, I think it's called, oh dear. Well, where is it? Well, this is the wrinkle free. I love that. I use this a lot on book page and thin things. Yeah, it's the permanent. It's called permanent Scotch Create. But I do like the Elmer's. The Elmer's works good. And I can see this bubbling over, which means it's almost empty. When that happens, that's what that means. I don't know why. When it's full, it doesn't do that. Or if you are smart, you put your cover right on and it won't do it. All right, so that's down. This is going to go in here. This is going to go on here, like this. And just making sure that this is nice and even so when I glue it. I think what do is just ink this. And what color ink will I use? Sponge sugar. Should I use the purple? Should I use the green? You know what? Let's use that, this purple. I do have the bundled sage, but I don't have a lot of, well, I do have this green. Let me just check for 1 second. Get my green one, which is where? Here's my purple. Oh, here it is. My bundled sage. This is so juicy, I don't know why, but it really is. I'm wondering if the olive would look better than the bundled sage. I'm just used to the bundled sage and I just re-inked it, and that's why it's so juicy, although it's better. Is it too bright for that? Nope, I think it's good. Let's do it. And I'm not going to do it heavy. I'm just kind of, as you can see, getting more on my paper towel than I am. I'm always afraid of being too heavy when I ink. What about you? How do you feel about inking? I'm doing a lot more of it now than I ever have before. As you've noticed probably if you've followed me for any length of time, I'm getting more used to the different, you know, using the different colors. Oh, I like that. I really do. Oh, that was such a good idea. I'm going to go ahead and go along that edge. And you know what else I'm thinking? I know what else we can do. I like that a lot. I don't know if you can see it, but it's pretty. And this is called bundled sage. I'm glad I went with that and not the purple. Because I've got a lot of purple. Sorry, it's on my scraps. Or no, my projects. Okay. Good, good. I think I better follow that just to be cohesive and make it look like it all ties together. Yes? Well, it's too late now. I already am. You're probably all saying, don't do it. But I've already committed. It's just paper. Right, Lori? It's only paper. Lori says, my friend Lori Hamill, she says, whenever I get stuck, I do what I think about you, and I just say, just do it. Just put it down. I had to laugh because I was never that way before. It's very recent that I've been doing that. Very recent. I'm just going to take my bone folder and just run across this one more time. Make sure everything's nice. Oh, that's not really very even now, is it? It's okay. There we go. Okay. So, let's do this. And what I was thinking, you know what I was thinking. She's thinking butterfly. I know it. I know she's thinking butterfly. Yes, I am. Oh, dear. Oh, look. Oh, my. Okay, let's see. hold on, hold on, hold on. You're right, I'm thinking butterflies. Lots of butterflies. See what, this is all Angela's paper too, but I just cut it into like stamps because I had my scraps. So maybe instead we'll use a stamp like so. This is from her sunflower kit. That's old. That's so old, right, Angela? She's looking at these things thinking, Cheryl, those are so old. Look what I found, guys. So you don't throw away anything. You never know. I'm not kidding. I haven't used this kit in 100 years. Ask Angela. She put it out at least a year ago. It's from her last spring kit. Somewhere on a page. Could be the sunflower one. I don't know. Anyway, if that doesn't look fab, I don't know what does. So I'm just going to use my glue stick and make a little stamp. And I just went around this. I cut these pieces with my pinking shears. I have a pair of pinking shears that I use for sewing. And then I have my grandmother's pinking shears that are really heavy. But they don't really work on fabric very well anymore. So they came to the craft room. I'm laughing seeing this and how well it all matches. But you can put any stamp there now. You don't have to do what I did. Take this if you want and make a stamp out of that piece of scrap or any piece of scrap. You know, you could use any piece of scrap. Any piece of scrap will make a stamp. And of course, I won't throw this stamp away. I am overly silly today. So, I am now going to place this one here. But I am not going to glue bare. I'm first going to glue up these sides. You know, just make it long enough so that you can fold it up as high as you want. Put a notch and then glue up these two sides with a thin line. And then fold it up and spread this way so you're not losing any space in there. I love this. I love this. I love how it's coming out. Okay. Now, if I wasn't on camera, this would take me all day. Again, I'm going right along that edge to that point. Excuse me. Excuse me. Again, very simple. There. And across the bottom here. And place it where I want to place it, but I want to see some of the writing, but I still want to get something behind there, like a tag or something. And I won't make one now, but I'll make a tag later to put in there. So now what I have is a pocket for a smaller, thinner tag. Oh no, that tag fits. But I'm not going to put one in there now. So this is going to, well actually, I could do that. Then I could perhaps use some, let's see what we have here for little pieces of ephemera we cut out of the kits that Angela gifted us, which, let's see, here's a piece. This is from the collage, and that looks pretty. And then perhaps that's from the collage. This would be good in there too. So I'll put these two. No, I'm not really keen on that. I mean, I am, but I'm not. How about, this isn't a photo that I took. I'm going to put that in there to show you can use anything. See, I printed it on photo paper. It's a photo I took at my daughter's when we were in Vermont last summer of her wildflower garden. So I'm going to put that there. And this tag is here. But I put it in there too soon because the glue wasn't dry yet. I almost glued it in there. So we need to put something in there, like a ribbon or something pretty. Or a tag or pull tag. Make it simple. I have so much ribbons and pretty. Oh, I have that green, but that's not the right color green. Excuse me. Let's see what I have for fabric here. I think what we'll do is I'm just going to get my whale tail punch. Angela has a lot of whale tail punches in her kits. I'm trying to use things that I know that you'd have. You know? I'm just going to use my whale tail punch because I'll be here all day if I don't. And get a scrap piece of paper here. And look, this matches this. So I think, see if I can get that whole thing in there. I like it. So I'm going to use it. But you can make tabs any way. Don't necessarily have to do it the way I just did it. I was fortunate to get a whale tail punch for $1. So, you know what? I'm lucky. So I'm not going to put it on the pink side because I kind of want everything to, or do I want to put it on the pink side? No, I'm going to put it on this side because then everything kind of stays cohesive. I like it a lot. And we have a little bit of the pinky peach on the other side, which is fab. My desk is a mess, I know. Let me put some of this stuff away. Excuse my reach. And no, I'm not wearing the same shirt as I wore yesterday. It's a different black striped shirt. I have a couple. I don't like to get too dressed up when I stay in the house all day. So I wear t-shirts and shorts. Okay, now we can think better. There we go. I'm just going to put a smidge of glue here. This isn't very forgiving. I'm not sure why I'm using it, but it's okay. Just make sure I'm going to get it in the middle here. Let's See what I'm doing? I don't mean to be in your face. It's just that if I hold it out, I can see it better. Boy, does that dry fast. There we go. And voila. How pretty. Love it. So we've got our tag here. And we've got some ephemera in here. We could add more ephemera. Say, let's see, what else do we have in here for ephemera? This is pretty. There we go. It's just a little journaling card here, which I'd have to, oh no, I can't use that because, oh, I know what we can use. Look. Let's see. I could have actually done that too. If you have any of her sentiments, that would have been perfect. So we have, let's see. Nurture your soul. Kind of put that out that way. Just for you to have for your journal, like if you wanted to eventually put it on a page or someplace, you know? And we'll do, we've got this color, we'll do a blue one. Every day is a new opportunity. And there we go, a little stuffed pocket on our page. So you have a tag, a little stuffed pocket with ephemera and some sentiments. Voila, done. And where's our envelope? So we can finish that right here. So now we're simply going to take this and we're going to make sure it's dry, and then we're going to take it and simply line it up. Just feel it with your fingers if you have to. Make sure it's lined up good. And then press it down. Our envelope pocket. Many pockets. We needed pockets. I figured, you know, when I was looking through it, I'm like, oh gosh, we don't have any pockets. We do now. Okay, so there we go. And let me attach that so you can see where we will attach it, or I will attach it. I'm going to attach it right here. But not on my paper bag, because that's for little bits and pieces. Well, that's a writing page. See if I have a page that's not so writing. That's a writing page. Oh, they're all pretty writing pages. Shall I put it in the center spread? That would look nice. Yes, I like that a lot. And then I could do something over here different. Oh, I really like that. But I'm not sure. Maybe that's, no. Here we go. I've got it now. Here we go. Perfect. Sometimes that's the hardest part, is putting in all our ephemera, right? So now for this, so simple. I'm going to give this a bone fold. But I have to be careful with that napkin and not tear it, because I didn't, you know, put any medium on it or anything yet. I can do that after. I don't need to do it with you here, because I'm sure we're running late. I'm positive we are. But I love spending time with y'all. And you can always fast forward through my boring parts. Like me trying to decide what color ink to use. Like, really? But as you know, I don't really think through a lot of things when I do things. I have a plan as, you know, my base and things like that, but a lot of times I do what I do so that you can see my process. So now I'm simply going to run some glue along this edge. Am I in frame? Listen to me. Am I in frame? I have a sweet subscriber who always says, yes, Cheryl, you're in frame. And I just love it when I read her messages. She's so sweet. So, you're all so wonderful. I am so fortunate to have such wonderful friends. And the comments are just delightful. Especially when I read things like that. You know, I just know that you're loving it, you know, as much as I am. You know, as much as I'm enjoying you being here, you're enjoying being here with me. So I'm just going to go right up here. And I am simply going to press this down. And like I said, if you're going to collage it, use a lightweight book page or copy paper. Because like I said, it does get a little bit compromised. And I'm gluing on my mat and putting my book on it at the same time. Just kind of silly, right? So we've got that glued down. I'll glue the other side down after. But you saw I glued here and here only. And now we will fill it up with some pretty ephemera. I'll put this here. And I'm just picking anything because otherwise, like I said, we'll be here forever. Because sometimes for me, this is the hardest part. Here we go. Now. This is nice. This is from the Spring Splendor kit. I mean, you could use anything. Remember, just trying to use what was in her kit. That really doesn't, well, it does, but it's kind of very much, you know, lots of flowers. I don't really want to do that. So we'll use this part. And let me see what else is in here. Just so I can show you how much we can get in here. She is so sweet. Let's use her. She's just so sweet. This is a soap ad. And I don't remember which kit. I'll put her in here. See, this is printed on photo paper, which is, I'll put her here. Take her out, because we are using digitals from Angela. Put this here. See how much you can get in, and we're only on one side. So I've got 1, 2, 3 so far, 4. Okay, and then you'll flip it over, and once this is glued down, same thing. 1, 2, 3, and you can just 1, 2, 3, and you've got all your sweet little pockets out of one envelope. So that goes there, and I think that's all we were going to do today, except we were going to make an envelope, which is so simple. If you have an envelope punch, I mean, if you have the envelope kit, or if you have one of Angela's kits and have an envelope, we'll use one of her envelope from her kits, just so I can show you what it will look like in the journal. But I thought, how fun would it be to have something like this in our little travel holiday journal, filled with sentiments and little pieces of ephemera we can use on pages and things like that to give us inspiration. So I definitely thought an envelope was necessary. So you can either use something in one of Angela's kits, they all look beautiful, something you have on your own, an envelope you want to make yourself, you know the drill. So So there we go. This darling little envelope is not folded properly. I don't know why. I don't think I cut it right. Hold on. I didn't. I think I just need to cut this down a little bit more there. And let's cut this down a little bit more here. And then I think it will fold up better. So I will crease this first where the line is, which is where I see it. There we go. So now we have a little envelope, right? We'll glue that up. I'll glue those two sides up. It's still not folded right on where it's supposed to be folded. Sorry about that. I think that's better. It's going to go in here, that's going to go in there, this is going to fold up here, this is going to fold down here. Now we have this adorable little envelope that we can I might not have cut this completely out right, folks, but that's all right. I'll fix it. But now we have an envelope, right? We can put some washi tape around something, say like, oh look, more butterflies. I'm so excited. Oh, I have this little double-sided paper clip too that I made, which is very simple and so easy to make. So I'll be using that in my journal. So I'll have some paper clips. Then you could take something like, for example, well, anything really, but I did have something more specific. You could take washi, wrap it around anything you want, and just wrap it nicely and put it in your envelope. Put a couple of different colors in there that will match your kit, and then some sentiments, of course, big and small. And then go through your box, get your little butterflies and flowers and what have you to put on your pages. There's a little clock that was in the kit. There was this pretty lace, butterflies, little buttons. You could put all these things in the envelope, right? And then, oh, this I cut out of one of the papers, one of the scraps. Here's a little envelope I made out of the scraps. So you could, you know, put that in there. Here's a flower I cut out of a scrap. And another little button. And of course some more stamps. And some more butterflies that I've waxed. Here's some more that I've put on vellum. So you get the point, right? You get the point. So anyway, just do that and take all these things with some sentiments, however big or small you want them. I mean, I have them in all sizes because I shrink them down and play and what have you. But yeah, so this might be too big for the envelope, but let's just see. So yeah, that'll fit fine. Yes, plenty of room. Okay, so then you'd put all this in your envelope. Not that, that won't fit. But you know, your bits and pieces that you want to take along on your vacation to decorate with and have fun with, right? So what I will do is leave you today with the envelope that you can make yourself, or with one of the fabulous envelope kits. I don't know if that's what it's called. I can't remember. My mind just kind of went blank. So, and then you have your ephemera here to help you with decorating. See? And then you could take along some of the little flowers and things, perhaps in a little baggie, you know. Oh, no, that's what the baggie's for. The baggie's for like flowers and things like that. Even more sentiments. That's what the baggie is for, that's inside the journal. Which, where is it? Where are you, baggie? Where are you? That's why I put a bag in here, if I can find it. Dear. There it is. So look how much you could get in the little bag. Okay? And then you could just put a piece of washi here to keep it closed so nothing will fall out. Or, once your envelope is done, you could just simply put this here and take a paper clip and clip that envelope right onto the baggie and keep your baggie closed, and your bag would be full. This would be full of whatever you wanted, you know, more like your butterflies and things, and then your sentiments and other decor, and maybe some ribbons and some laces and some little pieces of fabric and, you know, whatever inside this part. And then again, you have more room to put fun things in to take on your holiday on this side. Or you could keep this side for things you collect on your holiday or your vacation, say a ticket from beach parking, or I don't know, whatever you get on vacation, a movie ticket, a hotel receipt, you know, anything you want to remember your holiday by. And then once you're home, or while you're there, you could place and write, you know, about that special day. Okay? So that's it. I haven't figured out a closure, but when I do, I'll come back and I will do a flip through and give you all of my details as to what I did with all of the things that we've made so far for this beautiful journal, which is many. Today we did, let's see, we did this, and we did this, and then we've got this, and we've got this tag we still have to put in, and I have to put a little something something there, and we've done another one of these if we need it. And what else have we done? I know we did other things. We did the envelope. I showed you how to make the envelope, either with, you know, by tracing or just making your own envelope. I mean, that could be very simple as something like this. Let's just give you an idea. We're going to pretend that that little notch isn't there. But if you need to make an envelope, you can simply make one just like this, like you've seen probably 6 bazillion people do. And you just fold it up like this, and you could do an envelope like this, where you've got this opening, or you could fold it up more, say, like this. Let's do it this way. That looks really bad. You could, well, it doesn't matter. Just pretend that's not there, or put something over it. That's what I say. But you could just fold this up, cut these 2 pieces so you don't have the bulk, and then this just folds down, and then you have your envelope. Okay? So you can make your own, and out of anything. So that's it so far, and I will be back with a flip through and some more wonderful ideas, tips, tricks, and anything I can think of, and of course chatter, because it's, I think, what I do best. Oh dear, it's time for me to have dinner and go to bed. No, I'm not serious. It's only 5 o'clock. So that said, until next time, be well, be kind, and be safe, I guess. Okay? I love y'all. Happy Sunday. See you tomorrow. Bye-bye.